Let me know. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear it.
You have 4 minutes to dial that phone number.
So, just to set it up real quick, Dad puts a rotary phone in front of his kids and tells
Yeah.
and
Did he say
then tells
4 minutes to dial that number?
Yeah, I don't know if you've seen this. Have you seen this?
No, I haven't seen it, but I've seen something like it.
Okay.
With that phone.
Wait, so you have to push it.
Kyle, move your butt over. I don't want your butt in the
My
video.
fingers don't.
There you go.
It's all the way from here.
Yeah.
They're trying to press the number.
Yeah, they didn't even pick up the handset.
Oh no, zero's all the way over. Oh, I gotta restart.
Gosh, 4 minutes
Right.
to dial a number.
Can you imagine? Why wouldn't you would think though that the actual headset that you put it in by your ear, just the way it looks.
Or do you go all the way around back here?
I love how they're trying to figure it out together, like talking it out.
Does it look to get a dial tone instead of turning it on for them? He picks it up and it hangs it back down.
Yeah. Wow.
Right?
7.
Wow.
0.
I feel so lucky all of a sudden that I've experienced so many different
3.
types of phones
Oh baby. 8.
before I get one attached to my head.
0. All the way around.
Okay, so I'll give you a hint. Your 0 is correct. Every other way you're doing it is incorrect.
Your 0 is correct.
Yeah. So you don't stop at this. Oh, does the last one? Because look.
You just successfully dialed 0.
No. Stop. Okay. So.
Wait. So when we go like this, they said that was right.
Kyle, move to your right a little
Saan
bit.
mas malala eh.
So.
Ano yun?
So
Sumakay
if
ako
this
sa
was
ibang
0,
kotse.
I used to get calluses on my fingers when I dialed on these numbers before.
Yeah. So the whole thing is funny to me, because they basically never figured it out and whatnot. I don't know if you want to watch the whole thing, but
Do you feel the same? Do your kids feel the same? I mean, are your kids like this also when if you give them a rotary phone?
I've
you
actually
think?
never tried. Although they're smart enough to realize to figure things out, though. That's the thing, Like they've
That's-
seen the headset like that before,
Mm,
right? They've seen an old phone, but the phone that looks like that, but instead of the rotary phone, it's actually the press buttons already, right?
mm,
When they saw that, they actually knew how to pick up the phone and put it against their ear and their mouth. So at least they had that kind of, brain power to figure.
yeah. It would be
So-
interesting though. Let's see. Why don't you make a video like that and
Yeah,
see how
I'll
they would
definitely
react.
try
how,
that.
how old are these two guys now?
I don't know. I mean, these two guys look like
Are they
they're
about-
14, 15, 16-year-olds.
About the same age as your kids, right?
Probably.
Yeah, everybody
Yes.
has.
I think of
Wait a minute.
think of different.
We have to pick up the phone and then do it?
Put the phone in your ear. What do you hear? What does it sound like? Okay, that's a start.
See?
Yeah.
They didn't even know the sound of a dial tone.
Correct for
Right.
What does the 0 sound like?
Because you don't need a dial tone nowadays.
What does the
That's right.
0 sound like?
Like who would have thought, right?
Right.
And plus, yeah, that's right. When I pick up my phone now, you go straight to like dialing the number.
Right. There's no such thing as a dial tone. It doesn't exist anymore.
So if the 0 is correct, what do you do
Wow.
with the 0?
You guys are doing great because you're talking through it. You're working through
Yeah.
it.
So
We went all
Came
the
in last place. So.
we went all.
one of the big thing that came to my head watching this entire video,
Mm.
generations nowadays will never, ever in their life experience the gratification of being able to hang up on somebody.
What do you mean? Like hang up the phone?
The difference now is when you hang up a phone on people nowadays, what do? Right?
Yeah.
The whole idea of slamming the phone and hanging up on somebody before, when you slam that phone down, you feel it in your ear. because I don't know if you ever did that.
Right.
Because when the button presses down, if you press it hard enough, it's like, what the hell? You know,
Right. It hurts
you
on
can,
the other side, and you could feel like all that tension releasing when you drop it on the
right,
handset too. If you
right,
drop the handset on the rotary.
right. So it
Yeah.
feels like when you slam the phone and hang up on somebody like that, people will
Mm-mm.
like it, like, because
Aray.
yeah, they can actually hear it. So in a sense,
Mm-mm.
feel it. They'll never have the gratification of slamming a phone on somebody.
Right.
Nowadays, you slam the phone on somebody, you pick up your iPhone or your Samsung, and you throw it at them. That's the only way.
Or you post it online.
Yeah, because
Ay.
nowadays, when you hang up on somebody, hello, hello, are you there? Hello, hello, hello.
Ghosting.
You just goes dead. That's it. So stupid. and,
Ay, nako. That's
and
right though.
it,
But
what happened?
no. I was just like, I just had a like a brain freeze, brain dump, just thinking that, like, my gosh, yeah, like things changed so fast. I didn't even realize that we were doing everything differently, but we
Right.
just changed. We just adapted to everything like quite naturally.
Hmm. So as people actually nowadays, millennials and Gen Zs, they think that they're coming up with all of this stuff as well. But
Mm,
what they don't realize is it actually has a lot of relations to how we were back then. A lot of the stuff that they do now, we've done a lot of it as well. But they
mm,
kind of like sometimes in some of these occasions they improve it. Some of them it's just ridiculous.
mm.
You know, like a good example again. I don't know if you've seen these all over TikTok. These the different ways of these generations, what they do and whatnot. Have you seen something like this? Give me a thumbs up if you can
I,
hear it.
Like a heart.
oh,
All
that's
right.
an
How do you
interesting
answer the phone?
experiment.
Hmm.
All right. How do you hang up? All right. How do you roll down a window?
That's so funny.
All right. The biggest SNL star.
Star or best ever?
Star. However you interpret it.
Tina Fey? Probably Eddie Murphy.
All right. Best Disney movie ever, in your opinion?
McConaughey Pixar?
Yeah.
Inside Out.
Probably see Toy Story.
All right. Make a
It's
heart.
just the generation. It's not much difference, but some of the things that they do, they've kind of ruined the idea of it. Some of it maybe improved. But it's funny how they make fun of our generation because they think it's so old already. Like I overheard somebody, my daughter, I think, thinking that 2002 when a music, I think a Boyz II Men album came out. Oh my God, I'm so long ago. My brain exploded. It's like I had a freaking aneurysm that I'm like, 2000 was that old ago. Shit. I'm like, I was already 24 years old, I think, at that time. I'm like, Jesus Christ. You know? And I don't know if kids nowadays, I believe that our generation, we've gone through so many changes, right? All the way to this point. From the old stuff to the new stuff, from the hard things to the easy things. Now, they're saying that our generation basically laid out the floor plan for today's generation to make things easier for them.
Mm,
So, the statement of being handed in a silver platter is literally what's going on to these generations nowadays, the millennials and the Gen Zs and whatnot. And they just have it way too easy. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? That's the question that I ask. You know? Because kids now, I mean, it to me, I'm split on it, to be honest with you. I can't tell if it's a good thing or a bad thing. Because in some cases it is a good thing, in some cases it's a bad thing. For example, kids nowadays, they don't have a lot of the kids that I notice, they don't exactly take the time to figure things out
Mhm.
because they're so used to as is type of thing.
As
I,
is.
yeah, like they take it into face value, you know.
Can you imagine math teachers?
Oh,
I don't know when, like, they have to explain like the whole solution, the whole formula, and the whole, like, how did you get to the solution or to get the
right,
final answer.
right.
I mean, we were having this same problem before with the fact that, like, don't take out your calculator, no calculators allowed, you have to show your solution. But can you imagine now,
No,
like, you don't just have to fight off the impulse to take out your calculator. You have to take you can't you have to fight the impulse to have AI explain it for you.
yeah, yeah, no. It's ridiculous, you know. And don't even get me started on the kind of calculators that they use nowadays. When I say it's simplified for them, Jesus Christ, dude. If they've got these Texas calculators that's actually gonna, they've had the ones before where it creates a graph for you,
Mm.
but now it's like, oh Jesus, it's too easy. You
Yeah,
know?
yun nga, with the AI that I can play around with nga. It's like, let's say there's this problem, I want to come up with this as the final answer. Explain to me the whole solution, all 10 pages on how to get to that final answer,
Yeah, yeah.
and it'll spit it out for you.
It's too easy. So, is it a good thing and a bad thing? I don't know because it's definitely easier to. I mean, the convenience of having it just basically given to you or done for you.
I think the only way to think about it is that it's a positive thing, because I mean, we can't sound like grumpy old men complaining about, oh, that generation, that's
Yeah,
so
yeah,
easy,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
because it frees up, that means you got more time in your hands to think about other problems, how to solve world peace, for example. You know what I mean? Like, everything else is taken care of. You can
Right.
focus on bigger things.
Well, I
But
mean,
what those bigger things are, maybe that's
the
that's
priority, yeah, the priority is definitely different. You know,
diba?
I mean,
So they have,
I
like, I think in a way they have it a little harder, in a sense that I was just listening to a video the other day about how, like, World War III, it's not going to be like necessarily a physical World War III necessarily. It could be like, there could be like a virus running through, you know governments right now,
mhm.
that could be starting World War III, in a sense that, it's all like because of like one single text. It's not because somebody dropped a bomb necessarily, or flew over a nuclear plant, or
Right,
what.
right,
But it could be, it could be something very subtle, very, something that you don't see, feel, touch. It just, all of a sudden the lights are turned off. Like, all of a sudden there's no internet all over the world,
yeah,
or in your
yeah,
specific country. And that
yeah.
means all of a sudden all your bank accounts, all those numbers on your like little digital bank app update says zero, or you can't access it.
I
And
mean,
that's
don't get
how the whole world, or your whole society, crumbles, because you can't access any of your finances on your phone. It's as simple as that.
yeah, but don't get me wrong. I'm not ragging on like how easy it is for these kids. I mean, I guess it sounds like I am ragging on these kids nowadays, you know. It's not that. With all honesty and full transparency, I'm jealous of it, you know, because of the fact that these kids nowadays are living their lives with very little um in a way it's not as hard, it's just not hard for them, and they don't see that, you know, not until they get to an age where all the responsibility comes in and whatnot. um if we had this kind of way of living back in the 80s or the 90s even, you have to admit life would be a lot easier for us nowadays.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
would have gotten a lot of more things done. But
correct.
yun nga, ako naman, I don't know if I'm saying that feel the same way about it or not, but the way I see it, it's a little more difficult because it's not tangible. You don't really
Yeah,
see it. It's not like a brick that you pick up and smash a window with. This one is like codes and numbers and digital pixels that you're gonna type, and then like all of a sudden the house is gonna blow up or what. But it's not
that's
like a
that's kind of like
but
a
it's not
huge thing.
right. But it's not a rock that you pick up and throw at the window or
Right.
at the car. It's a
Right.
like, oh, I'm going to enter a code that's going to make your Tesla like turn around and make a U-turn, and you're gonna start driving backwards. Ha 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 ha. But you know what I mean? It's not tangible. It's not something that you can pick up and throw at a window or
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's just that everything is easier for the generations nowadays. Honestly, I mean, my opinion, that they don't exactly appreciate a lot of the. Well, sad to say, is a lot of them just don't appreciate what's available for them at this point. If I had the brain power to understand how things are working right now, how all these e-commerce are making their living, the digital marketing and whatnot. Oh my God, I'd take advantage of it so easily. Um,
there's a lot of more. There's so many more millionaires now than there were a few
Oh.
years ago, right? Like in their 20s.
yeah, it's insane. The amount of millionaires now, it's ridiculous. And again, I'm coming from both pure anger in regards to it and absolute jealousy. I'm just I'm being honest, But when the anger part comes from just seeing them not take advantage of what's there for them,
Ah,
you know what I mean? Because I'm grateful that they have it the way it is, you know. But as of late, because of that video we just watched, all these different things that they do now from how we do it before, it's crazy. They really turned everything into an extreme, basically. And
what do you mean? Turned everything to an extreme?
like, for example, the whole, well, here's a big thing. I think I've mentioned this before. How genuine are these reactions that we get from people nowadays? Is it a genuine feeling? I don't know. Because everything is happening to them, available to them too easily and too quickly.
Like swipe left, swipe right.
Exactly. Or when you see in the news that somebody got, unfortunately, let's for example, maybe somebody got assassinated or a horrible incident happened. Nowadays, kids are just like, okay,
Meh.
yeah,
Meh.
because all these kind of news are easily available, and it's not all of it being taken seriously. Unfortunately, this whole issue with the border issue in Texas, for example, or whatnot. Yeah, it's picking up traction, but the reactions are not as genuine because it's always there. It's constantly there, and people are creating memes out of it, or they take light of it. So I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure if I'm making sense on what I'm trying to get at here. So anyway, that
No,
went all
so-
over the place.
A question about with the Texas border. What are you saying, that it's happening so regularly, so much so that nah, meh, like it doesn't alarm anyone anymore?
I mean, it does, but these are like older, later generations. But
Yeah, so younger generations don't really care about it. What's going down?
yeah, it's not as important as like maybe posting an Instagram post or something. I don't know, or maybe unless how before in our generation, if it's in the news, then it probably means something. It's probably of importance, right?
Yeah, now they could
Now,
just block it off.
right, they can block it off, or unless it's in Instagram or TikTok, it never happened, or it's not true, or it's not real.
Yeah,
I don't know.
or clear my YouTube history.
Right.
Remove from searches.